Now in this video, I'm going to start out and give you guys the specs real quick. Then I'll kind of walk through the actual design, then roll it over, and we'll check out the business of the hull there. I have not paddled this, by the way, but you will get a on-water review coming soon, so you want to stay tuned to that one. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into the walkthrough now. So right off the bat, I want to talk about something. The rocker's actually lower on this thing than the Firecracker. I measured out at 8 inches of rocker from here to here, and on the bow rocker, I measured out 13 inches from here to here. Well, you guys can convert that over to centimeters on whatever you want. One thing I noticed, the bow is definitely wider in this point from there to there, and the width is carried out. This one is a very wide, flat platform back here. I measured a little over, almost a foot. So we're almost 12 inches. I would guess maybe 11 3/8 on the actual width from here to here, which I really like that a lot. I'm very curious how that's going to paddle. And the size in this is the size medium. Now this is going to come in 3 sizes. You've got a small, a medium, and a large. I'm just going to go over the medium right now in this video. The overall length of it is 7'9", which is 237 centimeters from tip to tip. The actual widest point of this is 26 inches or 66 centimeters. The volume on this in a 7'9" package, we're at 71 gallons of volume, US gallons of volume, which is what, 268 liters, and 43 pounds of weight on the actual weight, which is a light kayak. I think that's a very light kayak. Paddle recommendation specs is 130 pounds to 210 pounds. I think it's more like a bigger medium. When I sit here and look at this thing, it is not a small medium. I think this is what I would call a big medium. So someone around about 200 pounds can really like rip in this thing. So about 160 to 200, I think it's going to be prime time. 130 is going to be a little small on it. 220 is going to be a little big on it. So yeah, there's the overall specs and kind of like my first kind of look of this thing. Let's go ahead and let's go through the actual design and what my opinion is of this design. Now this falls more in that free ride category, which is kind of where the Firecracker falls, that kind of downriver player, short downriver player. It is technically another short, playful half slice. If I had to put it somewhere, I would say it's a very performance-driven Firecracker, if I just had to just guess of where they're going with this thing. The Storm is a reused name. There is another Piranha Storm from back in the day, just so you guys know. Molded in wall holder here. They went back. I noticed here lately, Piranha's been putting these little ribs right here for our pleasure. When you want to get out of the boat, they've added this little grip right here, and they're molded pretty good. That's hard to mold that, everybody. I did notice they moved this MZ3 from the side to the back, so they doubled up on those right there. Cockpit's kind of like their standard cockpit, so it's same as the Firecracker. I couldn't tell anything that they've changed in this. From what I've seen, it's all still the same thing in here. One thing I did notice, check that out. Foam is soft on the outside and hard on the inside, so it gives it a little more rigidity on the wall right there. I like that Piranha's using that in their boats. I wish they'd use it in more of them. Standard track on this, standard Elite outfitting. They did add the plates. This does come with there's a plate now that runs from here to here, so if you had any problems with your kiss off, I've never had any problems with my kiss offs breaking or anything, but they did address that issue. Now right out of the box, I went ahead and adjusted these, kind of turned them in a little bit. I really like these thigh braces a lot. I'm not going to go over the outfitting much. I don't see anything different in this thing. You've got the standard bulkhead. I did have to cut the foam down and get the bulkhead in there, but everything else looks like the normal Elite package. I don't see anything different. Drainage holes up here, the step out pillar right there, Piranha logo. Once again, aluminum handle on the front. Now it has this big spooned bow on it. I do love the looks of this bow. It looks like it would really kind of hit the waves and take off, but it's kind of thin, so I feel like I could cartwheel it, and it's wide, so me being a looper, this thing's gonna loop massively from the width of that bow. Unlike the Firecracker was a little more rounded, this has a nice flat area. Sometimes you can just plug that much and really get a good loop out of it. But let's go over let me just walk you down the shape one more time, let you see the side profile of this thing and show you what it looks like all the way around. Looks really good. Let's go ahead, let's roll this thing over and I'll go over the hull with you. Okay, lifting it up on its sidewall here, I'll show you this side. Look at that tail. There seems to be a slight negative rocker. This tail comes out very thin, and I don't know if it's in all of them, but this has kind of like a negative rocker right there, everybody. It goes down, it doesn't start widening up to about right here. So that's gonna really be a great stern squirt boat. very aggressive box side on it, so it's going to be a little more spicier than the Firecracker. I can already tell you that. Looking over the hull now that I've got it rolled over. You know what, even that little guy, we got the Spider-Man going right there. See that right there? That edge runs all the way down, so the chime runs all the way down and it runs all the way out and it spoons around. I did notice that it's a lot flatter. It's still that kind of hybrid that Piranha's kind of locked into this hull, and I really like this. The edging on the chime is like so wide right there, and the drop isn't much drop on this thing. So when you look, the drop is higher right there. There's more of a taper here, so it's going to be a little more forgiving, and then it runs down, and then the drop starts about right there. That is not much drop at all. Actually, let me grab my little measuring stick. We are only looking at probably a ½ inch or a few centimeters of drop, but then when you go up here, it's almost a full inch or like a lot more right through there. And then you go down here, it starts dropping. It gets a little more, see how much higher it is? So it's very flat and planing right in this center, which would be great for spins and releases. I really like that a lot. But overall, let's look at that hull one more time. Wide channel here, and I really like the looks of that. Like I said, there's a negative rocker right in there. I don't know how well we can see it down in there, but y'all see that? That'll give you the idea of the rocker from there to there, how far that drops in right there. Do we need another half slice in the world? Well, only you guys can decide that. I get it, we got enough half slices out there. This is gonna be more of a performance-oriented half slice. So yeah, let me give you one more look at the hull. See that? So far, this is one of the best looking kind of like river running half slices I've seen, and I've paddled about all of them at this point, and I think this one's going to be a really good one. You might have seen my wizard video of me doing a custom wizard. I just got that in. If you guys would like to see a side-by-side of the wizard and storm to kind of give you what they're doing with that thing, let me know, because I'll do a side-by-side of the wizard. But yeah, go check out the storm versus the Firecracker. I think you'll be interested to see the kind of the philosophies of the two. I'll kind of break down what my opinion is on them. So yeah, you guys leave in the comments below if you've paddled this thing already. I know they're floating around all around the UK and Europe, and they're floating around the US. I know some people's already been in it. So yeah, there it is, everybody. That's all I got on the, the storm walkthrough. See you all in the next video.